So I've been waiting and putting this off just to see if there was any like more information that might come out, but I'm not gonna lie, I can't not talk about this. So if you don't know what has been basically taking the internet by absolute storm, you may have heard of this, maybe haven't heard of it. It's essentially the quote-unquote TikTok ban, or the TikTok bill that was passed by I think it was the House of Representatives, I think it was, something like that. And now I do want to preface this won't be taken into effect somewhat soon, I think. It's not happening today. At the time this video comes out, it probably won't even come out in the next couple months. It might take a while, but it's not. I just want to clarify a couple things, just spit some facts real quick. God, your boy did some research. So it's not obviously called the TikTok bill or the TikTok ban, whatever it is. It's called the Protecting Americans from Adversary Controlled Applications Act. Now, basically what this act/bill is essentially saying that any application, whatever it is under the review, I guess you could say, of the United States, Big Daddy Biden or whoever is in office, all of them great rich white guys in there, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's probably like some color people. I wasn't trying to make it a race thing. But like it's just so essentially what it is like I said, it's an what's it called? It's an act that will go into place who knows when. And it essentially states that any application that is either put up on the app stores or anything like that, whatever it might be, they could essentially be taken off the app and basically just banned in the US outright on the basis of if it's a national security and owned by, and I quote, foreign adversary. Yeah. So to me personally, saying something is a national risk can be pretty gray area. I know some people's like, oh, well, it should be. No, because like, oh, that's a national data risk. Oh, they're looking at your phone that's connected to the Wi-Fi, that's connected to the app. Therefore, they have your information. You see what I mean? There's a lot of room for gray area right there, and I'm not really too happy about that, as a lot of people aren't. But that's also not the only thing that you should be mad about this. So because of the procedures used to get this, this act done so quickly, this bill actually needed about 2/3 majority to pass, and it got that, like, by fucking far. And if you don't know like how I can't even say how close, because it wasn't even fucking close, how not close it was 352 to 65. Let me say that again. 352 to 65. There is so much going on in the world with stuff like healthcare, stuff like, I don't know, having actual reliable jobs and reliable pay. The cost of living has gone exponentially up ever since, I don't fucking know, the last decade. And I guess, I know, of course, gradually things will go up in cost. But it is becoming to the point where if you want to, I don't know, live by yourself, you are going to be paying a lot, and I mean a lot of money, depending on where you live. If you live in if you live in Utah, I'm sorry, but if you live, like, for example, if you live in Utah versus, I don't know, like Massachusetts, fun fact, is one of the most expensive places in the entire country. I'm gonna say that again. One of the most, if not the most expensive in the entire country. Massachusetts. And now if you're not from Massachusetts, you're probably like, what the fuck is Massachusetts? You be goddamn right, because all we got is Boston, and nobody likes Boston. Let's be honest. Not even, I can't believe I'm saying this, but people in Boston are called Bostonians. I'm not from Boston, but that's such a fucking shit. But let's just say we'll just call them Bostonians for a second. Not even Bostonians. People from Boston like that. They say they do, but they complain about it all the fucking time. I would know. I've been there many times throughout my life. But there's so much other shit. Not even just that. There's also the whole, I'm not gonna get into it, the whole Israel situation that's going on and stuff like that. There's so much shit that's going on in the world. So the fact that they're using this as I believe, I'll get into it more, as like a Trojan horse to basically control what we see. And now what I mean by that is, this is setting a precedent. if they could just get rid of TikTok. So essentially, let me backtrack for a second. So in order for TikTok to stay on the App Store, obviously, if and when, I'm assuming this probably will get passed, because Biden has, of course, it has to be signed by the president, and Biden said he will sign it. So it's not even a matter of fact. If it gets to Biden, it's done. But when it goes to the next step, the next hearing, I think it's like 60 something votes, 65 votes. There's going to be a whole fucking thing. It's going to be a whole thing. And a whole bunch of people that are, representing that and basically like, hey, we got bigger fish to fry. I'm not worried about this. They're going to take they're going to be like, this is going to take the normal amount of time that a normal act would take. I'm not rushing this. Many of them have said that. Awesome, cool. Like I said, this is setting a precedent because basically, again, I got to backtrack again, sorry. But in order for TikTok to stay on the App Store, if, and hopefully not, but when this goes into fruition, ByteDance, the Chinese company that owns TikTok in a way, like they own a stake in it, whatever it is. I don't know the exact technical term. Maybe we can put something on screen. But like, they have a massive share or own TikTok, whatever it might be. In order for TikTok to stay on the app stores and stuff like that, and basically be like, not made into a law, not illegal to do it, you know what I mean? ByteDance needs to sell their stake, or sell TikTok in a sense. And who do you think they have to sell it to? A US owned company. You see, and again, we can go back to the fact that TikTok, I don't think I know for a fact, y'all motherfuckers definitely don't read the terms of agreements. Because if you actually look at the terms of agreements for TikTok, it's actually fucking wild. But not only TikTok, but you really should at least somewhat read your terms of agreements. I know you're just trying to get on with the app and what you're doing. Just try and fucking read it. Seriously, it's kind of wild. They do end up taking like your data and stuff like that. But there have been like people from TikTok that have been saying like, yeah, we don't do anything, stuff like that. Basically, kind of like denying and be like, no, we're putting your best foot forward. But that's another whole video. But this shit's insane. This shit pisses me off. As somebody who, I don't know, lives in America, this is fucking insane. We're not worried about all the other shit's going on. We're worried about TikTok. And now people are, and you might think, oh, it's not about TikTok. It's the fact that they could do this and do that with your. It started because of TikTok. It doesn't matter if it is like the quote unquote TikTok bill. It doesn't matter if it's basically putting or as out of spite because TikTok is one of the biggest media consumers for people under the age of 30. That's a fucking fact, by the way, and that's one of the reasons why they're doing it. It's just insane. I have a TikTok. I mean, if you want to go ahead and check it out, cool. But like, I've tried my best. TikTok hasn't been working for me. It is what it is. But there are so many people on there that are genuinely making a living off of it, and businesses that make a living off of it, basically to make ends meet. And this is basically just like not only putting so many people out of business and so many people, out of their money that they make from it, but also it's just kind of fucking with your First Amendment right. It's just outright. The only reason that they can get away with this and have a loophole is because they use the term of a national security risk. With that being said, they could literally just get away with it because they said, well, if it's a national security risk, it takes above all. Okay, cool. Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I know. I love that. I love having it taken away because you think it's a national security risk. And honestly, it's getting bad when the TikTok CEO show. But essentially what he's basically saying is like, hey, this is bullshit. We don't agree with this at all. They're basically fucking with your First Amendment right. And, we're trying to make TikTok as safe as possible. And I think we're doing a really good job. Essentially that. And then if you look at the comments, by the way, there is 127,000 comments. Just want to point that out. That's fucking insane. By some very, very fucking big TikTok creators. All of them are, if you really just look at a majority of them, like the top comments, a lot of them are just people that you would, normally see. They're verified accounts. Like, Daniel Mack, the guy, hey, what do you do for a living? That guy. Insane. That he's saying something. And he's saying in Show We Trust, which I thought was funny. But now I will end off by saying this. Don't be surprised if this falls through. I really wouldn't be surprised. Now since this, got the majority votes, this will move on to the U.S. Senate. They need, I think 60 votes, or they need a majority and 60 votes, whatever it might be. But they need to obviously come to an agreement and stuff like that. It's going to be this whole big thing. It's going to span out probably, honestly, if I want to be honest, probably the course of a year. And it's probably going to be one of the most talked things in the United States. But don't be surprised if this actually goes through. And when it does, this is going to kick open the door or even just have their foot in the door of the US government of what you want to see. And I'm not over here saying that they're gonna be like, you know, be like North Korea, and basically like you're only seeing this, and this is, and like we're making it a law. But they're using, in my opinion at least, manipulating the law in a way to where it's acceptable because, again, it's a national security risk. If it was such a national security risk, first off, why didn't it get picked up before TikTok has gotten as big as it is? Because if it was such a national security risk, this would have been done, I don't know, like 2 years ago when it first started blowing up, and that everybody knew that they took your information. Now all of a sudden it's a national security risk because so many people are doing it. A lot of people were doing it back then. Why is this such a big deal now? That's what I want to leave you with. Actually insane. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment as well. I love reading your guys' comments and just going back and forth and talking about it. Again, if you disagree with me, cool. Honestly, I don't care. I love that you disagree with me. If you agree with me, cool, awesome. I love that you agree with me. I don't care. I just like having a conversation, go back and forth. I love talking about stuff like this. Love hearing your guys' thoughts. What are you guys thinking? How you feel about the situation? Just let me know. Again, it's not the like change my mind series, but again, I could have a very big viewpoint on topic A, but I didn't read a crazy amount into it, and I'm like, huh, maybe it actually means this. You know what I mean? But I'll see you guys next time. Okay, don't do drugs, kids. Okay, bye.